editing. But I've just been speaking to someone who's like desperately like trying to change their job and career. And I just wish that everybody realised how not easy, because it's definitely not easy, but how achievable it is to be able to create a business doing the very thing that you enjoy doing the most. So let's say your hobby, and you can turn your hobby into a business. So, and I'm doing mine right now. I'm just editing videos. I mean, that's what I do for a living. It's mental, because when I first started doing this, I didn't think that was ever going to happen. But a few years later, we're here. We're making lots of videos. So something's working. Capturing emotions, unveiling our emotions. The true cost of creative burnout. So let's enter a topic into here. So what I'm doing at the minute, I was just using YouTube's ideas, inspiration tab. Try a question. How does like set up? Let's go to ChatGPT first. It's going to ask it a quick question. I'm trying to come up with some new content for my channel. There's a lot of people that work in my space, in the video production world, and they all make the same kind of videos. I'm trying to come up with something different, something that's actually going to bring some value and be a little different to what everyone else is doing. So, what are the most common regarding turning... Hi, how you doing? So what I'm trying to find out, you guys might be able to help me. I'm just about to ask ChatGPT actually, if you just have a quick look. How you doing? So what are the most commonly asked questions regarding turning your hobby into a business? Now, I've been fortunate enough whereby I've been able to turn my hobby into quite a good business. I've just had our best ever month this month, and I want to try and make some videos to try and help other people break out the 9 to 5, or at the very least earn a good side hustle, you know, and earn some decent money on the side. So that's what I want to do, but I want to try and do these videos different to what everyone else is doing. If anyone's got any ideas or any questions that could spark some ideas for future videos, that would be awesome. Let me know in the comments. Is there anything that you've been thinking about turning into a business, and are there any particular things that you would struggle with if you try to do it? That's what I'm looking to try and get. I'm looking for some. So your edits is your biggest problem. Denki, is it Denki? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. What editing software? Are you editing videos first of all? Is it video you're looking to edit? Short. Oh, editing shorts. Okay, cool. So what editing software are you using at the moment, if any? If I could recommend one, my favorite one would be CapCut. In fact, hold on a minute. So you're doing them for, are you just using YouTube at the moment to create your shorts? See, I use a program called CapCut. Can I just show you? Let me just show you. So I'm using the desktop version at the moment. So if you look here, right? So I made a short earlier, right? So if in fact, let me make it from scratch for you so that you can see what I do. It's really quite easy, to be fair. So the first thing you do, you've got your editor here. You can get the app as well. The app's free. You can do this in the app. You just get your footage Let me just get some footage. In fact, actually, I've already done it. Let me just show you this. This is going to be even easier for you. Hang on. Let's just come off there. Here we go. So I made this little short earlier today. Let me just turn this down a little bit. So this is for a construction company that I do work with. And as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You just put in cuts, some transitions and some edits in there. And it's really, really quick. It's probably the quickest editing software I've ever used. By miles. Hi, Elijah. So this short, once I imported all the footage, I put it in line. And then what I did was once I'd done that, once I put my footage in, I just put it in the timeline, and I always edit to music. So once you've got your music track, I then just put the cuts in time with the beats, and editing shorts has become something I've got really fast at. I'll make a video tomorrow, Denke. If you subscribe to the channel, come back tomorrow, I'll record a video for you on my phone. I'll do a screen recording showing you how to edit a short in under 60 seconds to 120 seconds. You can edit a reel, a really good looking one, no problem whatsoever. And I'll do that video tomorrow. I'll make a note of it now. Look, I've got my pen. I will make a note of it. So editing shorts. So there you go. YouTube Create is pretty good. My daughter uses that. But if you want to get higher quality exports, you're better to use some more pro editing software if you can. Do I know what MHA is? No, not familiar with that. Is that a type of software? Not something I've used. So according to ChatGPT, it says, how do I know if my hobby can actually make money? That's a really good question. That's one that we can look at answering. When is it the right time to quit your job? That's a really good question, because that was the hardest part when I did it. How much should I be earning from my hobby before I go full time? Now that answer to that one is going to be different for everybody. So the first one, how do I know if my hobby can actually make money, is quite simple. You just do some market research. You go online, go on YouTube, search for your hobby, go and find people's YouTube channels. It's an animated show. No, I'm not familiar with it. But you go on their YouTube channels and you see if they've managed to monetize what they do, either through the YouTube channel, or if you go into the descriptions, you can check their links and you can see whether that person has got a business from it of some sort. And 9 times out of 10 people have, and I've seen people turn all sorts of weird stuff into businesses, so it can be done. When is it the right time to quit your job? For me, it was when I knew that I had at least 6 months worth of work booked in the diary, and that there was income coming in, and that I didn't have to panic about where the next bills were going to get paid from. How much should you be earning? That's going to be different for everybody. It's got to be enough to cover all your bills, and you've got to have enough for like a whole year. How do I price my work without underselling yourself? I struggled with that one myself quite a bit. So these are all really good questions. The best, how to price yourself. Pricing yourself is really hard, but you just have to kind of you have to kind of just find out what other people are charging and do some research again, and then base it on what you need to earn per day. Do I need to register as self-employed, start a company? What taxes do I need to pay? How do I track income and expenses properly? Do a contract insurance? What's this tools and systems can run things professionally? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not familiar with that one at all, mate. I've got some really interesting questions here. I need to write some of these down because I'm going to forget them. I've never got any plain paper. Can I search it up? Kelly. Hi, Kelly. What's the question mark in relation to? You got a question for me? You can ask a question if you want. Is it like some kind of anime thing? I'm guessing. Doesn't really fall into my line of work. It's not really something that I do, to be fair, or I'm into. But you could make a business out of it if you wanted to. You can make a business out of anything. There's people that make a ton of money just running channels about Pokemon. It's like, you can literally turn any interest or any hobby into a business in 2025. And anybody that tells you you can't is frankly talking out of their bottom. I really can't find any paper. All the paper I have already has stuff all over it. Do you know what? I'm going to use notes. Zakon, how you doing? I'm going to use my notes. I think that's the best way of doing it. Just go in here. Let's go type these questions in. Copy. Put them in my notes. Just save it. So I've got a few ideas now for some future videos. As you can see, money and stability, business setup, growth and marketing, mindset and lifestyle. And they will be I'll create some videos around that. That's what I'm going to be doing next. Got to go. Okay, well, thank you for joining the video. Have a good day. Goodbye. I'm going to go myself soon. I was just trying to get some inspiration online, see if I could find any. But what we got going on, we got capturing moments. Okay, so let's come off of that. Let's go. How to turn a hobby into a business. Get suggestions. We're going to be trying out YouTube's inspiration tab now. My first client from hobby to profit. It's actually created some little cool thumbnails as well, which is pretty cool. This is actually pretty cool. My first client from hobby to profit, a journey from passionate hobbyist to professional content creator. It's explored, highlighting the formative experience of securing a first paying client, the practical steps, the emotional milestones involved in monetizing creative skills are illuminated by this, right? Okay, so hooks. This is a really cool tool, actually. I've never used this before. So what I've just done is I've just gone onto YouTube and I've gone onto their inspiration tab. And then I've typed in here how to turn a hobby into a business, because this is a series of videos I'm thinking of making. You click get suggestions, and then over here, ideas for your next video. Monetizing your passion, a behind the scenes journey. From creator to CEO, my business evolution. Launching my hobby, a step-by-step guide. Scaling your creative business, what I learned. And turning your art into an empire. These are all really cool ideas, actually. I like the way it's actually made some little thumbnails as well. That's kind of cool. I can save that idea. That's pretty cool. From creator to CEO, my business evolution. We'll save that one. Launching my hobby step-by-step guide. Selling your creative business. Scaling your creative business, what I learned. Turning your art into an empire. I like all those ideas. So let's go over here. We can go to saved ideas. So scaling your creative business. Let's go to the bottom one. What was this one? So we got wedding videography gear for pros. Must have gear for daily vlogs. Monetizing your passion, behind the scenes journey. I kind of like this one. And then it gives you some ideas for hooks. This is really quite cool. Never tried it before. I'm going to have a little play with it. Let's see how we get on. Couldn't create hooks. Why not? Refresh. Let's go back. I don't know what it's doing. It's having a bit of a... It's having a little bit of a fit at the moment. It's not working properly. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to practical guide is offered. So, monetizing your passion, a deep dive into the process of transforming creative passions into sustainable income streams presented. Behind the scenes reality of building a profitable creative career is unveiled. I like this, but why is it not giving me any hooks? So I hate it when people do videos and they say things like the exact blueprint, because there is no exact blueprint. Like, it's going to be different for everybody. Everyone's going to take a slightly different path. So when I hear YouTubers say things like the exact blueprint, it's like, it worked for you. It's not going to work for everyone. I really despise it when people do that. It's really irritating, because there is no blueprint. Not only that, but markets change like weekly. So I would probably change this hook. So the hook that it's given me is, for years I kept this a secret. I didn't keep it a secret. I just didn't tell anyone. The exact blueprint I used to transform something I love doing every single day into a full-time business. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about sustainable success born from a genuine passion. In this video, I'm revealing the entire behind-the-scenes journey from initial spark to monetized reality. I would probably just change that. So I will rewrite that in my own words. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Can we... exact blueprint. Don't like that. really hate that. So I'm going to make sure I take that out. Sketchy. And enjoyment for what I do. Okay, so I'm just rewriting my hook for my next video. Okay, I quite like this idea. So I started out doing this because I enjoyed it. Honestly, I never planned on it becoming a business, but little by little, it grew into something bigger than I expected. In this video, I'm going to take you behind the scenes on that journey and how it went from being a hobby I loved to the thing I now get to do full time. See, I really like that as a hook. That's my favourite hook. So the other one, for years, this was just something I did because I loved it. I never thought it would actually turn into a full-time business, but here I am. In this video, I want to show you how I went from doing what I enjoy doing every single day as a hobby to building a life around it. No get rich quick stuff, just real ups and downs of turning a passion into something that actually pays the bills. I quite like that now as well, but that feels a bit long. This was never about chasing money. I just loved doing it. But over time, that love turned into a full-time business. And in this video, I'm sharing how that happened, the real journey from passion to profession. I like that. I love anything that's short and punchy. So, yeah, so basically, guys, what I'm doing is I'm just writing my next script for my next YouTube video. I get a lot of people ask how I've gone about turning what used to be a hobby, filmmaking and making music videos and things like that, and how I've turned that into my business. And I want other people to be able to do the same. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. Try and make a video that's hopefully going to help people. So the outline of this video. So the passion project paradox. The initial spark, what passion looked like before the profit. Common misconceptions about overnight success and monetization. Copy this outline. This next section. So every passion project starts the same way. It's just something you love doing. No pressure, no deadlines, no invoices, just that spark of enjoyment that keeps pulling you back in. That's what it looked like for me in the beginning. But here's where most people get it twisted. Turning a passion into a business doesn't happen overnight. I like that bit. And it's not effortless. You see the highlights reels online and it feels like everyone else is making it instantly. The truth is that rarely is how it works. I like that. The reality is a lot messier, and in the early days, it's long hours, plenty of self-doubt, and those quiet moments where you wonder whether you're wasting your time, you'll question yourself, you'll fail more than once, and you'll put a ton of effort in before you see any real return. That's the paradox. You start with pure passion, but you keep it alive long enough to make it sustainable. You have to be ready for the grind when it comes in. That is kind of cool. I like that. And I like it. I want to do it like a story as well. So I'm already liking the way this is shaping up. I like this. The crucial first step is establishing a presence online. Okay, let's do this. So building the foundations will be the next section, from hobby to hustle. When you first think about turning a hobby into a business, it feels like all you need is talent or creativity. But here's the thing, creativity alone doesn't pay the bills, which is very true. You've got to have a lot more to it. If you just went out and made really great videos, it doesn't necessarily mean that your videos are going to take off, and it really doesn't mean whether you're going to be able to turn it into a business. That is for certain. But here's one thing, creativity alone doesn't pay the bills. You've just got to figure out what makes you stand out. That's your niche, that's your unique value, and the reason that someone will choose you over hundreds of people doing a similar thing. And that's one of the things I'm trying to do. I think the difficulty at the moment is there's a lot of YouTubers in my space, and they're all making the same videos. I've just looked up and there's about 20 people that have made the exact same video overnight because a new product's come out. And it feels like everybody in the video space is just obsessed with gear. Give the video a like if you don't mind, if you're watching along and you're listening to me ramble. So the first real step is putting yourself out there, build an online presence, share what you're doing, even if it feels rough around the edges at first. People can't support you if they don't know you exist, which is true. And building an audience early makes everything else easier further down the line. That is also true. And here's the part nobody tells you. You'll need more than just your craft. And being good at what you do gets you noticed. But to actually make it sustainable, you've got to wear a lot of different hats: marketing, sales, customer service, a bit of finance. The shift from hobby to hustle, when you stop just creating for yourself, start learning the skills to turn it into a business. That was the hardest. That is definitely the hardest bit. Okay, so the monetization matrix, unveiling revenue streams. Okay, let's do this. And the monetization matrix, unveiling revenue streams. Once you've got the foundation in place, the bigger question is, how do you actually make money from it? Most people instantly think of ads, but honestly, that's just one tiny piece of the puzzle. Ads alone rarely pay the bills unless you've got millions of views. The real shift happens when you start exploring different revenue streams. Maybe it's affiliate marketing, recommending tools or products or services you already use. Maybe it's creating your own digital products. I'm getting very tired. And the courses, there are community side platforms like Patreon, blah, 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 blah. I think for this section, work out online until my first paid job. This usually happens when you and gave me the drive to, so until one day I got my first paid job. And once I got paid, that really sparked for me and gave me the drive to think about turning it into a business. Then I looked years. I have been very much mastering selling my services first. Initially, I got sales through word of mouth, and recommendations, but then I started learning about the other revenue streams like paid advertising, Google Ads, Facebook, etc. And going into the near future, I am looking at things like affiliate marketing, and sponsorship deals. Right, let's see. Let's come up with strategy. One day, someone actually paid me. It wasn't much, but it lit a fire in me. That moment I made think, wait, maybe there could be a business here. Yeah, so basically this is the story about how I started my business. So this is what I've written. For me, it all started fairly simply. I wasn't chasing money at first. I just loved creating. I made free music videos for people and put the work out online. That's it. There was no big strategy to it at all. Then one day, someone actually paid me. It was mental. It wasn't much, but it did light a fire in me. That made me think for a second, hang on, I can make money doing this. And that was what kind of sparked it all for me. From there, my focus was clear: learn how to sell my services. That was my number one goal. So for the last couple of years, last few years now, that's been my main grind. It's just been, at first it was a lot of word of mouth, recommendations and things like that. And then I started experimenting with ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, etc. And as I've gone on, I now use these more professionally and I hire people to do them for me. Now as I grow, I'm looking at other revenue streams such as affiliate marketing, sponsorship deals, maybe even a brand partnership. But I think the lesson in this is don't worry about having 10 different income streams on day one. Start by getting really good at selling one thing that you do well. Once that's solid, then you can start to branch out, and that's how you build and how you scale. So that's that section. I like that. Copy. Let's go and put it there. It's quite a long video, this one. This is a long script. I don't know how I'm actually going to remember all of this. Who knows? So let's have a look at the next section. This is a cool section, actually. This is a good part. On the outside, running a creative business looks very exciting. Don't get me wrong, it is. But behind the scenes, it's not all highlights. Day-to-day grind, juggling projects, managing your time, planning content. Somewhere along you're going to try and burn yourself out. A content calendar really helps. I use a content calendar all the time. I like that. Let's go. Let's go and copy. I already have some of these sections already written out before. And I chat GPT'd a couple of little bits of it as well, so. Then we're sort of changing, new platforms pop up in 2029. Some point. Okay, I like that. Let's go there. Let's paste that in. I think I've got this all near enough done now. Some sort of clothing. Oh, my neck. So no one else's neck pop like that. I don't need some sort of closing statement there. Encouraging people to not give in on their dreams, but also delivers a message of realistic expectations. Maybe could be if you would like to have a chat. I'm trying to work out what I've done wrong here. Just had an idea. Edit product. How do I turn that into add a product? Recurring membership. Haha. Join my membership. Here we go. I'm cooking now. Join my mentorship program. One-to-one and upload an image. I'm gonna have to find a better image. Join a mentorship program. I need to change the price. So let's go to next. Business. Let's go to business. No, don't want to do that. I need a picture of me. So let's go to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook. I'm going to get going now because it's getting really late and I've got to be quiet. But thank you to everybody that watched, and I'll be back again soon with more.